Two Chairs No Waiting, number 687, the Esquire Club Trivia, Season 1. Two Chairs No Waiting is brought to you by folks just like you. The High Sheriff of episode number 687 is Chris Merrill, and the executive producer of episode number 687, they are Randy and Jennifer Vinson. I want to thank our band, the Mayberry Band, for our music. And I want to thank you for being here with me. I'm Alan Newsom, the host of Two Chairs No Waiting, and it is always a lot of fun to spend some time here with you in Mayberry. So tonight we're going to be doing a little bit of trivia in just a little while. We're going to be doing some trivia from SpiritWalker. He actually put these together from over at the Esquire Club and sent these in. So we got some trivia. We got 10 trivia questions. We're going to hear from Randy Turner first off, though. Randy Turner, this is his part 3 and final part of his Hal Smith series he's been working on. And we're going to do that. Then we're going to play our trivia. And then we'll do a little bit of feedback and some catching up on a few things and reminding you of events and stuff that are coming up in the next little bit. So what do you think about that? Sounds good, right? So let's head right now and go hear from This Week in Mayberry History with Randy Turner.
Welcome to This Week in Mayberry History, a report by special correspondent Randy Turner of the Gomer and Cooper Pyle Comic Book Literary Guild of the Mayberry Historical Society.
We skipped a week in my report on Hal Smith, so SpiritWalker could do a report of his own last week, but have this week off. I mean, he had a pretty good reason.
Be you ready? All ready. Dearly beloved, we're gathered together here in the sight of this company to join together this man and woman in holy matrimony.
Congratulations to our friend SpiritWalker, who got married last weekend. All the best to you and yours. Well, this week, we'll conclude our look at some often overlooked and misunderstood aspects of Hal Smith's life and career. I'm sure we will return to Hal to do a deep dive someday of his entire career. As we discussed last time, after Hal transitioned from his early career primarily as a singer into becoming an actor, he first played a drunken man in an episode of Ozzie and Harriet. He did so again in another episode of that same series in 1961, but by then he was playing a character who over-imbibed regularly on our favorite series, The Andy Griffith Show. While Hal had an extensive acting career, including an amazing amount of voice work for animated projects, the role of Otis Campbell is the role for which he is best remembered. The core of Otis is what is known as a stock character or archetype. The concept of a town drunk, historically also called a tavern fool, is a character in fiction who is more often drunk than sober. Sometimes the town drunk character is used as a moral establishing symbol to demonstrate the evils of an overindulgence of alcohol. A common example is Pap Finn, Huck's violent father in The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn. The other common use of this archetype is to play the role of fool. Now, the word fool here is not meant to reflect his stupidity, as we often would associate with that word now. Rather, the idea of being a fool in this use simply means the characters are comic relief. This use of the town drunk archetype is less common today due to the recognition that alcoholism is a disease, but it still exists, such as the frequently belching Barney Gumble in The Simpsons. But the early 1960s was a different era, and this type of character was much more prevalent. The actor and comedian Foster Brooks made a career out of playing such a character in nightclub acts, a character often described as a lovable lush. Public sensibilities began changing toward alcoholics and being drunk in public, resulting in Brooks eventually dropping the character and acting in roles when he was not a drunk, such as playing Mindy's boss on Mork and Mindy. Otis Campbell is based on the same type of stock archetype, but with so many appearances as the character in the same series, Hal was able to flesh Otis out into a character with a problem, but who was genuinely loved by the people of Mayberry. This same change in public sensibilities is what led to Otis no longer being the town drunk in Mayberry. The series sponsor began to object to the character, reportedly because one of the executives had an alcoholic member of his family. Otis's absence in Mayberry was explained in the series by Andy referencing that Otis was doing all of his drinking in Mount Pilot in later years. When the cast reunited for the 1986 TV movie Return to Mayberry, the writers knew they could not have Hal Smith playing Otis as a drunk, so they decided he would instead be hooked on sugar and made him the ice cream man. But did Hal Smith drink in real life? It's not surprising that the concept of Hal being a teetotaler in real life is appealing, since it is so antithetical to the character for which he is best known. And it may have even been that some who actually knew Hal truly believed he was a teetotaler. But while it is stated everywhere on the internet, it's not correct. Hal was by no means a heavy drinker in any way, shape, or form, but he was also not a teetotaler. People who completely abstain from alcohol usually do so for any number of reasons, but most prominently, religious or health reasons, including past issues with drinking. But none of those applied to Hal. In fact, Hal was what would normally be called a social drinker, and even a light one at that. He did not drink when visiting or out to dinner with family. I mentioned 2 weeks ago that Hal's second marriage was to Louise Curtis in 1948. I have had the pleasure of talking with Hal's sister-in-law, Audrey Curtis, who confirmed this. She never saw Hal drink when they were together, but she also never heard him condemn drinking in any way. Hal himself said he was a social drinker at best. He wasn't a teetotaler, but also was not a drunk. He was just a good actor. He did not regret playing Otis, and once said, "It's the best kind of drunk a man can be. It pays well, and you never get a hangover." Hal was aware of the belief that he was a teetotaler, and would sometimes joke about it. At the Missouri Cherry Blossom Festival I attended recently, I met a fan who was able to ask Hal Smith personally about this, and Hal responded with a joke.
My name is Anthony Bishop, and some years ago, I met Hal Smith. In talking to him, I asked him, "Mr. Smith, in real life, do you drink?" And he looked at me and he said, "I want you to know that alcoholic beverage has never touched my lips." He said, "I always use a straw."
So that's it for this week. Thanks for listening, and remember to take care of yourself, take care of others, and take Andy's advice, and go out there and act like somebody.
Thank you, Randy. And if you want to make sure that you don't miss anything that Randy's doing online, head over to turnersgrade@gmail.com. Send him an email there, turnersgrade@gmail.com, and he'll make sure you don't miss out on any of the fun stuff he's doing. And wow, great stuff. Great job with the Hal Smith. Hal Smith is a great subject to talk about. He was always he's always been one of my favorites when you hear the stories about him and the people that worked with him and how much they liked him. So, hey, I want to mention too that Two Chairs No Waiting is brought to you each week by the folks over at weaversdepartmentstore.com. That's a real store. Head over to Weaver's Department Store and check things out. While you're there, you might want to check out Mayberry Man DVD. That's right, the DVD for the movie Mayberry Man. You can get it over at Weaver's. And I got some more information about that in just a second. But while you're over at Weaver's, check out the Mayberry patrol car license plate as well, JL327. You can pick up one. It's metal. It's embossed. You know, it's just like a real tag from the 1963 car. So it looks just like the one on the show. Head over to Weaver's Department Store and check it out. I think you'll enjoy it. So I was just mentioning about Mayberry Man. Now, Mayberry Man, there was an announcement the other day. I don't know if you guys saw it or knew about it, but Mayberry Man is going to go into being a series. It's going to be a streaming series. So you guys may not know about this or may not have heard about it, but Mayberry Man is going to be a streaming series that's going to be coming out. There's going to be some more information coming out in just a few days about it, but you can head over to mayberryman.com and find out more information now. You can look around over at their website and see what's going on, but they're basically looking at doing, instead of doing a second movie, they're going to do a series of, 6 or 8 episodes of a series. So it'll give us more time to tell a story. And remind you, if you haven't seen Mayberry Man, it is not a remake of the Andy Griffith Show. It is a modern day it's people dealing with some people like me when I'm doing Floyd. So they're dealing with crazy people like me that dress up like a barber or like a deputy or a town drunk and dealing with those kind of folks. So I think it's really a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to being in this new one as well. So go and check that out. I think it's something you might be interested in. And as part of that, I wanted to mention the Mayberry Meetup. So the Mayberry Meetup is a event that was started 10 years ago. Now it's going to be our 10th year in Mount Airy, North Carolina. It's going to be in July. It's the 15th through the 16th of July. That's Friday and Saturday. And then Sunday morning, we're going to do a Bible study as well. But we'll be there and you doing just whatever you want to during the day. And then in the evenings, we're going to meet together at the gazebo at the Mayberry Motor Inn. We got a big screen out there that we're going to be able to show the Andy Griffith Show and just visit and talk and have fun and relax. It's a great relaxing weekend where you can do whatever you want to. I want to add that Mayberry Man, the movie, we're going to be showing it on Friday afternoon, I believe at 2:00. So it'll be at the Andy Griffith Museum Theater that's down in the bottom. It'll be down there. So more information will be coming about that, but come and see us and go to the movies with us and then head over that evening and watch Andy Griffith Show episodes in the night with us. It's big news. It's been broken on a few other places, but right now I'm telling you here on the podcast. So make plans to come and be with us at the 10th annual Mayberry Meetup. Now, if you can't make it to the meetup, make sure you try to make it to Mayberry Days in September. So it's a lot of fun. So those are some Mayberry Man things I was wanting to hit up and make sure you knew about. There's another one I want to mention. On June 25th, we're going to be showing the Mayberry Man movie at the Bama Theater in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Come and see us. And then before that, June 4th, which is, if you're listening to this when it comes out, that's this coming weekend, June 4th of 2022. We're having Mule Days, and there'll be several of us there, Barney and me and Alana, and we're going to, and Festus will be there. And I don't know, I think Otis will be there as well. So y'all come and see us in Gordo, Alabama at Mule Days this coming weekend. All right. So that's enough commercials. So now we're going to head in and do some trivia. Y'all ready for the trivia? All right. So now SpiritWalker, as you heard, got married just recently. And as part of that, he had sent me some stuff to kind of tide me over until he was able to get back. And I appreciate that a lot. So he sent me some trivia questions for you guys. And these are from season 1 of the Andy Griffith Show. So let me get some music going for us. There's our background music for some trivia. And you guys, are you ready? Are you ready for some trivia? I believe you are. So let me head over and get that going for us. All right. So are you ready? Trivia time here in Mayberry. All right. So this is the Esquire Club Trivia Season 1. There's just 10 questions. So these questions are going to come out of the first 10 episodes of Season 1. If you're ready, I am. All right. Question number 1. Question number 1. This is from the episode The New Housekeeper. The question is, who caught the first fish on the Andy Griffith Show? Who caught the very first fish on the Andy Griffith Show? Oh, that's a good question. All right, fixing to give you the answer. Who caught the first fish on the Andy Griffith Show? Now, this is from the new housekeeper episode. The answer is Aunt B. Aunt B caught the very first fish on the Andy Griffith Show. So how did you do? How did you do on that one? The chat room, I see a few folks in the chat room. Look like they got it. All right, so let's go to question number 2. Question number 2. And again, these are coming from the Esquire Club. So it's the Andy Griffith Show. It's TAGS Esquire Club over on Facebook. So go and check them out if you hadn't. Episode number 2, because this is question number 2, the manhunt. The question is, what is the name of the barber on the barber shop window? Now, this is a hard one. What's the name of the barber on the barber shop window? This is kind of a hard question. This is a visual question. So if you're watching the video version, you'll be able to see the answer. I'm fixing to tell it to you. What is the name of the barber on the barber shop window in the episode The Manhunt? Okay. And the answer is, okay, if you look really closely in the window, it says barbershop. It doesn't say Floyd's Barbershop at this time. It just says barbershop. And it says Sid Elson. Elson is what it looks like. Sid Elson was the name of the barber. Now, there's just a screenshot that he provided so that you can see if you're watching the video version, or you just have to take my word for it, either if you're not. So good job. If you got that one, I'm extremely impressed by you. But the answer is Sid Elson. All right, question number 3. This is from season 1, episode 3, The Guitar Player. What song does Barney play on the harmonica for Bobby Fleet? What song does Barney play on the harmonica for Bobby Fleet? Oh, do you know this one? This is a guitar player. I don't know if it helps you. I'm saying it, the guitar player. I'm saying it from the Southern. The guitar player. What song does Barney play on the harmonica for Bobby Fleet? The answer is Jingle Bells. He played Jingle Bells for him. All right, how'd y'all do on that one? Did you get it? All right, next question. Our next question from episode number 4, Ellie Comes to Town. Ellie Comes to Town. Here we go. What is the license plate number on the Mayberry squad car? What is the license plate number on the Mayberry squad car? This is from episode 4, Ellie Comes to Town. Oh, am I trying to get you? Did I set you up for this one? Or did I help you? Okay, what's the license plate number on the Mayberry squad car on episode 4, Ellie Comes to Town? The answer is DC 269. It's DC 269. Oh, see, I threw in that Weavers is selling the JL327 tag number just to mess you guys up. On that episode, the tag number on the squad car was DC 269. All right. Next one. We're at number 5, I believe. Season 1, Esquire Club Trivia, Season 1, question 5 from episode 5, Irresistible Andy. Who is the first person seen reading a newspaper on the Andy Griffith Show? Who's the first person seen reading a newspaper on the Andy Griffith Show? Oh, see, these are not as easy as some of those I've been doing, are they? Who's the first person seen reading a newspaper on the Andy Griffith Show? Now, this would obviously been in episode 5, Irresistible Andy. Must be the first person we see reading a newspaper. And the answer as to who that person is, it was Andy. Andy was the very first person we saw reading a newspaper on the Andy Griffith Show. There you go. There's a lot of firsts because it's the first season, right? So season 1, here we go. Next question from episode 6. So question number 6. This is the runaway kid. Andy tells Opie to go inside and feed which one of Opie's pets? Andy tells Opie to go inside and feed which one of Opie's pets? Which one? Andy tells Opie to go inside and feed which one of Opie's pets? The answer is his frog. He had to go inside and feed his frog. I didn't remember that. Oh, Lydia in the chat room. It looks like she got it. I don't know if anybody else did or not, but I see it. Good job getting it there. All right. Next question. This is question number 7. There's only 10 questions. This is from the episode Andy the Matchmaker. Great job on these, by the way, SpiritWalker. Okay, here's the question. Which garment did Miss Rosemary clean and hem for Andy? Which garment did Miss Rosemary clean and hem for Andy? Okay, this is from episode 7, Andy the Matchmaker. Which garment did Miss Rosemary clean and hem for Andy? The answer is, I didn't know this one. The answer is his jugging coat. His jugging coat. Jugging. Yeah, I don't know if is that like when you're like Mr. Darling, jugging. Oh no, it's judging. No, jugging. This is judging coat. When I first read that, I thought it said jugging, but it says judging. So his coat for judging people. So if you got that, you got it right. It wasn't his coat for jugging. It was for judging. There we go. All right. Next question. Number 8. This is from episode Opie's Charity. Season 1, episode 8, Opie's Charity. What item is the centerpiece above Andy's fireplace? What item is the centerpiece above Andy's fireplace? It's from Opie's Charity, episode number 8. What item is the centerpiece above Andy's fireplace in the episode Opie's Charity? The answer is a deer's head. Yeah, he had a deer's head mounted above the fireplace. Yeah, in that first season, the mantle didn't go all the way across. It was just the deer's head was right there above the center of the fireplace. So it was a deer's head. Yeah, go check it out. Check it out. There's a screenshot. If you don't believe me, you can go and look. Next question. I think we're up to 9. Yep. Episode 9. A feud is a feud. What item hangs on the kitchen wall to the left of the door that comes back into the main part of the living room area? Okay. What item hangs on the kitchen wall to the left of the door to the main room? Now, this is from the episode number 9, season 1, A Feud is a Feud. Different things may hang there at different times, but this is specifically to this episode, right? What item hangs on the kitchen wall to the left of the door that goes from the kitchen back into the main room? You know, there's by the swinging door. Okay. A lot of folks in the chat room are saying it's telephone, and that could be right in other episodes, but this episode, the thing hanging beside it is a fly swatter. That's right. The phone's not on the wall in this particular episode. There's a light switch and then a fly swatter hanging on a nail. That's what's there. This is hard, but there you can see it. If you're watching the video version, you can see it. You can check it out. If you don't believe me, you can go back and watch the video. It's there. There's the screenshot, or you can just go watch season 1, episode number 9, and you'll see it. A fly swatter hanging right there on wall as you go back from the kitchen back into the main part of the house. All right, here's our last question. So how you guys doing? These are a little hard, but they're kind of fun, aren't they? The fly swatter. All right, number 10. Here we go. Season 1, episode number 10, Ellie for Counsel. Ellie for Counsel. So Ellie for Counsel, the question is, who is on the cover of the TV guide in Walker's drugstore? Who's on the cover of the TV guide in Walker's drugstore? By the way, the phone didn't appear until episode number 23, according to SpiritWalker. He's in our chat room, so he's giving that answer. So that's when the phone appeared. So I guess they just had a phone in the living room until then. Didn't get one in the kitchen. All right. Number 10, this was Ellie for Counsel. Who is on the cover of the TV guide in the Walker's drugstore? The answer is Lucy. Lucille Ball can be seen on the cover of the TV guide on the shelf right there as Andy's walking into the drugstore at Walker's. You see it just right there on the wall. And it's Lucille Ball, who just happened to be the owner of the studio that they were filming the Andy Griffith Show at, Desilu. So there you go, folks. How did you do? How did you do on this trivia contest? This was the Andy Griffith Show Esquire Club Trivia, Season 1. Great job to SpiritWalker. He came up with those questions, and I enjoyed them. The folks in the chat room, somebody said, yes, I got one right. Finally, they got one there with the Lucy question. So great job. I enjoyed it. If you're watching the video version, I really encourage you to do that. Like these trivia, you're actually seeing the screenshots because the things he's telling us, he's taking screenshots of them and showing them to us. So great job, SpiritWalker, to come up with the questions. Some folks in the chat room are telling me they got 7 of 10. Some said I got maybe got 3. Some maybe got 6. I lost count. Things like that. So how did you do? I hope you did good. And more important, did you have fun? Was it fun trying to remember? And now you need to go out there and check it out. Now, SpiritWalker's got a book that's going to be coming out pretty soon, and it's going to be called The Rerun Watcher's Guide to Season 1. So he's going to be having it coming out pretty soon. So be watching for it. And of course, you'll hear about it here on the podcast. He'll probably tell you about it during his segment. But it ought to be a lot of fun. It's going to have a lot of stuff like this. It'll be, if you liked Randy's book that you can still get over at Weaver's, Mayberry First, I think this is going to be a great companion to that. This is just Season 1 stuff, and it'll just fill in more information. You can never have too much information. So for now, you can head over and get Randy's book over at Weaver's. It's called Mayberry's First. You definitely want to check that out. It's a great book as well. And SpiritWalker's, when his comes out, it'll just go right there on the shelf right beside it. It'll be perfect. Yeah. So I don't know if Randy's going to do a book called Mayberry Seconds. I don't know. He may have more firsts to tell but we're going to have SpiritWalker have some more books, and we got that. So we got books just coming all over the place. If you want to read, you got time to read, you got time for music. There you go. Oh no, that's not the right one. Folks, hey, I want to thank you all for being here with me. It's always a lot of fun to be here in Mayberry. Spending time with you is always a lot of fun for me. I love hearing back from you guys. I should have told this earlier. Got a nice bit of feedback. Let's see if I can pull this one up. Boom, there it is. Again, it says he was talking about the episode with Cody. He said, a good interview. What a fine young man. You, as Floyd, and the Two Chairs podcast is the highlight of my week, and many others as well. No matter how bad the day is, Two Chairs brightens my evening, hearing about my favorite show. You're a bright light, and the Lord shines through your smile, laugh, and casual show references. Jan as well. God bless you and yours. And that's from Rob. And Rob, thank you so much for that. That is so nice of you. And it is always great to hear back from you guys and hear comments like that. I'd love to hear from you. if you'll give me a call at 888-684-8415, or you can email me at floyd@imayberry.com. I would love to hear from you. It's always great to hear from you. If you watch this on YouTube, make sure you like and subscribe to the podcast so you won't miss out, and you'll always be notified when a new episode hits the YouTube, I guess. So definitely do that, and subscribe to the podcast version as well if you'd like to, so you can listen to the audio. I've got a face for audio. Works very good there. Until next time, everybody, y'all have a great Mayberry week, and we'll see you right here on Two Chairs.